What is going on, my Super Sandwiches? Rhymestyle here, and today I want to try out a brand new series on my channel where basically I toss out 2 random Dragon Ball characters, throw out some facts, and then you guys decide who you guys like better based on what I say or based on what you guys know. So basically, let's, for example, say, if this is Goku and Vegeta, I would say something like, oh, Goku has Super Saiyan Red, he achieved it, against Beerus. He had Super Saiyan 3, then you have Vegeta, who was a villain at first, became good guy. Vegeta went Super Saiyan Blue on his own, stuff like that. And then after that, you guys decide, oh, which character side you guys are on. Now, it's not meant to be a war type of thing where it's like I'm trying to get people to argue with each other on who they like better. It's just kind of like a little fun thing. And then basically, it'll be a little interesting way to get the community to talk and just kind of compare characters. Now today we're going to do Champa and Beerus because they're probably one of the most relevant characters in the series right now. But in the future I'm going to go into Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Z, even Dragon Ball, or even beyond in the external stuff like Dragon Ball Online, Dragon Ball Xenoverse, whatever. The whole idea is to just toss out 2 random characters and then kind of get a community discussion going around these characters and who people like the most. And of course, if there's anything you want to toss out as well, any facts, random things, whatever, you can drop that in the comment section below as well. But without further ado, let's talk about our first Dragon Ball character battle. So since the Champa arc has been so awesome so far, I wanted to do Champa versus Beerus first. And if you want to go ahead and drop your opinion right now, who you guys like better, feel free to do so right now. But stay tuned to for the facts and information about these characters first, and then from there you can decide who you want to side with. But let's go ahead and start with Beerus first, since we know more about him, and then we'll get into Champa afterwards, since we know a little bit less about him, but still enough to know whether or not he's a cool character or not. But since everybody knows Beerus, let's go ahead and talk about him first. First things first, I want to toss out a quick fun fact about Beerus that a lot of people may already know, but you also may not know. The original design for Beerus was meant to be like a reptilian lizard design, and he was meant to be the character that made Saiyans evil or something like that. That was the original story of Battle of Gods, but then it got rewritten into the movie that we received. But just a little random fun fact I want to toss out there. How curious, or I guess who would really love to see that side of Beerus? Now, I love the one we got with the whole cat guy design. It sounds a lot cooler than the whole lizard thing. But who would have loved to receive the original story as well? Let me know your thoughts on it in the comment section below. Now, as far as what we know about Beerus, he is obviously a god of destruction. He exists to kind of be the balance between good and evil. Well, I don't want to say good and evil because he's not necessarily evil. He's just like the balance in life. You got the gods that bring light, then you got the gods that destroy, and that's what Beerus basically is. Our very first revelation of Beerus is he was literally destroying stuff left and right. In Dragon Ball Super, I loved it the most because when they first introduced Beerus in that series, he was literally going from planet to planet and just destroying like it was nothing. The thing about the movie, which I've discussed many times before, is they didn't really portray him that well as a god of destruction. He just kind of showed up to King Kai's planet, he showed up to Earth, and then he really destroyed. But in Dragon Ball Super, they really reveal what the god of destruction is like, and it just makes you wonder how many planets or how much has Beerus actually destroyed in his entire existence, his lifespan. And we know he's existed for a very, very long time. The thing that makes Beerus especially different and unique as a character in the Dragon Ball universe is the fact that his personality is so vastly different than any character introduced in the series thus far. As I said, he's not necessarily evil, but at the same time, he's the type of person that will go to play and destroy just because someone sneezed on him or someone bumped into him. But he'll also spare you if you give him a cup of ramen. So it's like, he's very, very different and unpredictable, and that's probably one of the big pluses about his character. The thing that I really like about him is how serious he can get, but at the same time, he can be so comical. Like, for example, in Dragon Ball Super, I believe it was episode 28, when Champa showed up to Beerus' planet, he thought that was Goku and Vegeta who made a lot of noise. And what does he do? He starts attacking them. He almost tries to kill them because they woke him up out of his nap, but it really wasn't even them, it was Champa. So it's like, his random personality that can be so funny and aggressive at the same time is one of the coolest things about his character. So overall, with his personality, we can probably all agree that he's the most unique character that has ever graced Dragon Ball. Again, just an opinion. If you have your own opinion on who you think is the most unique character, feel free to express it in the comment section below. But to me, I think he's the most unique character just because he's so different. For example, like right now, we all assume that Beerus is friends with Goku and Vegeta. But for all we know, in episode 40 of Dragon Ball Super, or episode 50, or even episode whatever, he can easily change his mind and try to kill everybody and just become the biggest villain in the series of all time. And if that actually happens, we know how much of a problem that is, because my next point about Beerus is the fact that he's so powerful. I mean, going back to Battle of Gods, we see Goku achieve this brand new transformation, gain a new level in strength as a god. He becomes a deity with the red hair, and even though he becomes as powerful as he becomes, he still loses to Beerus, who apparently didn't even go 100%. And then later in Resurrection F, it stated that even though Goku and Vegeta have ascended so much in terms of strength, when it comes down to fighting Beerus, there's still no match for him. So it's like, how strong is Beerus actually? And if we ever get to the point in the situation where he's going to be a villain, what's going to happen? I mean, how would that scenario even play out? Think about it. I know we've talked about this before. We had countless discussions about Vegito coming back to Fusion. I feel like if Beerus ever did become the bad guy, the only way that they could triumph against him is to bring back Fusion and fuse Goku and Vegeta together to create Super Saiyan Blue Vegito and then unleash an epic fight. That'll be a cool way to conclude Dragon Ball Super. But again, I doubt it's going to happen that way. It's just a speculation theory that's been discussed many times before, and I just want to toss out there briefly just to discuss the strength level of Beerus. But ultimately, between his character design, his unique personality, and his amazing strength, Beerus is definitely a top tier character in terms of how awesome he is, and that's why I want to toss him out there as a first in my character battle poll. Now for my next character, this is going to be his twin brother, Champa. Now unfortunately for Champa, we don't know as much about his character as we do about Beerus, just because, well, he hasn't had that much airtime. The only revelations we had about Champa is the first time he was revealed in the Dragon Ball Super manga, and then now in the Champa arc. And also the very first time he was revealed as a quote-unquote villain of the Dragon Ball Super series last summer, and then we found out later he really wasn't even a villain. So we don't really know much about Champa, but we know one, his character design, his personality, and somewhat possibly can speculate how strong he actually is. So to kick it off, let's go ahead and talk about Champa's strength first, because that's the one we know the least about, only because we haven't really seen him fight. I mean, we've seen two instances of battles. One was in the manga, which revealed when Beerus and Champa got into a fight a long time ago, many planets were destroyed. And the second time was when we saw them briefly scuffle in, I believe, episode 28 of Dragon Ball Super, or it might have been 29, but at the very beginning of Champa arc, when we saw Beerus and Champa scuffle really, really fast and almost destroyed a planet just from throwing hands. So if I were to guess, I would say that Champa is definitely not as strong as Beerus, but he's almost on the same level. So if you were to fight, for example, Goku or Vegeta, I think Champa could ultimately win if he really tried. Now I feel like he's kind of a lazy fighter because he has that lazy personality, but if Champa really wanted to fight, he could probably knock out Beerus and Vegeta. Now complete guess. I don't really know how strong he is, but just based on what Vado says and the fact that he's Beerus' brother, he has to be somewhere in the same level as the God of Destruction, Beerus, but not quite up there, but still strong enough to be the God of Destruction. So that's just my complete guess with that. Now just like with Beerus, the thing that I really like the most about Champa, and this is what really captured my heart the first time I see Champa's characters in the anime, as well as in the manga, but mostly the anime because they portray it a lot better, is the fact that they made his character personality very, very fun and different. The thing that I like the most about Champa is the fact that he's so different from his brother. Again, going back to what I said earlier in the video, both Champa and Beerus have a very serious role in the universe. Like, they're supposed to be the balance of light and dark. Like, they're supposed to destroy. That's why they exist. But unlike Beerus, Champa is too lazy to do it himself, and most of the time when it comes down to it, he has Vados to destroy stuff for him, which I find really, really kind of funny. I mean, even look at his physique. In the beginning of the Champa arc, we see him get tired from walking. Yet he's supposed to be so monstrous and super powerful and crazy, but he gets tired from walking, he doesn't destroy stuff on his own, and he's just a goofball. But he can still be very, very serious if he tries to be. So this is what makes Champa's character so freaking different and unique, and I love that they did that. Now originally, I remember when Dragon Ball Super was coming out, a lot of us, myself included, assumed that Champa was supposed to be evil just because of how he was portrayed in the poster holding the Earth. But now that I think about it, I'm so glad that they did make him evil, and instead made him the complete opposite, the goofball that he is, and I think that makes a great additional character to the current roster of the Dragon Ball Super universe. Now the final thing to talk about in terms of his character is obviously his design, but honestly there's really not that much to talk about just because he is basically a fat version of Beerus. Which reminds me of the very first time that Champa was revealed, we all called him Fat Beerus. Now I will admit the very first time I saw Champa's design, I wasn't too impressed. Now when I saw Beerus, unlike most people, I really liked Beerus' design originally. I did make fun of him at first, I called him a Pokemon, which a lot of us probably did, but ultimately I thought Beerus' design was pretty unique and different. Now with Champa, since he's basically a knockoff of Beerus, the first time I saw him I was like, well, I mean, let's see what his character's like first, but I wasn't that impressed by his character design just because it was something that we were already really seen. Now as I said, originally I thought that Champa's character was supposed to be evil, and thinking that he had an evil personality, I just felt like his character design didn't exactly match that, so that's why I was not impressed. But now that we've really seen what Champa's character is like, that he's a goofball, he's very, very lazy, and the complete opposite to what Beerus is, I feel like his character design makes a lot of sense. So it's pretty cool now. I accept it and I like it a lot. In fact, I even look forward to seeing Champa the most right now in Dragon Ball Super whenever he has airtime, just because I know whenever he talks or interacts with Vados or even tries to be an angry God of Destruction, it always ends up being funny, and he's a great mix of comic relief and awesomeness, which of course when you combine all these elements together makes a very good character, especially in the Dragon Ball universe. So that is Champa. What do you guys think? So now what I want to do with this video is take it to the comments below, and I want you guys to say which team you're on. Are you hashtag Team Champa or hashtag Team Beerus? Hashtag it below, and also say why you like which character better or what you don't like about the other character. Just basically discuss both of these two characters. Again, for the sake of only keeping it around Champa and Beerus, please only talk about them. If we do Goku and Vegeta or anybody else, it'll get too hectic, and we'll talk about them in another character battle video. But for now, only focus on Champa and Beerus in the comment section below. Now again, as I said in the beginning of the video, feel free to add any facts or knowledge or anything that you guys know about these characters that I didn't discuss or go over. This is just, again, meant to just talk about characters in the Dragon Ball universe, and it'll be a fun little video series that I want to do in the future on my channel. Also, please send me feedback on how I can make these more fun. Right now, we have footage in the background courtesy of Jadentastic. Big shout out to him. I will link his channel in the description below, so make sure you go over there, subscribe, and say hi and stuff. But ultimately, how can I make these videos more fun? Comment feedback on that in the comment section below as well. Now, one last thing before you go, in the description below, I will also have a poll link that I want you guys to vote on as well, just because it's really difficult to tell which character actually wins based on just looking at the comments alone. So in the description below, click that link after you comment below which character is going to win, and then vote on either Champa or Beerus, and let's see what the poll actually said. Now for this week only, I will try using Twitter poll just because it's something I will use a lot more. It's more fun. It's a lot easier to see the numbers and stuff. But if that doesn't really work well, because I know a lot of you guys don't have Twitter, I'll move over and use straw poll instead. Now one last thing before I end the video, just so it's not confusing, this video series is not meant to be a literal fight between characters. In this case, I'm not asking who would win a fight if Beerus and Champa fought, which is kind of obvious. It was kind of revealed in the series that Beerus is stronger. I'm merely asking you guys who you guys like better in terms of character design, personality, and overall their achievements in the series. So do you enjoy Beerus better, or do you enjoy Champa better? Comment below, vote in the poll, and let's see what the community overall thinks about both these characters. I'm pretty sure that someone will still be confused what I'm trying to do with this video series, so if you see anybody commenting that Beerus is stronger or whatever, please tell them that this is not meant to be an actual literal fight. It is just a poll to decide which character people enjoy the most, and that's what I want to do with this video series. So tell them, help me out, because I know the comments are going to be full of people saying that Beerus is strong, which we already kind of know. But ultimately, that's not fun here. This is going to be a fun series, and I can't wait to do more videos like this. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, which side you're on. And of course, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like rating below as well. As always, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. My name is Rhymestyle, and I will see all you awesome super sandwiches in the comment section below, as well as the poll. Peace.